Well, good morning all, welcome to the Old Classic Car channel. Today we are down at a slightly less than sunny Bicester for the first scramble of 2026. What gems will we spot here today? Well, who knows, as always, a huge selection of interesting cars, old and not so old. There's a celebration of TWR amongst the many interesting things that we'll see here today. We're just going to go and park up and then let's go and have a look. I'm joined by the youthful assistant today, and no doubt he will feature at some point in this video. I spy Avenger Tiger in the queue just down there. Pretty tidy W123 Merc just in the queue over there. Very low Porsche 924 as well. We passed that one, our edge car on the M40 a little while back. Also arriving a Porsche 968, 993 version of the 911 and a replica Jaguar C-Type or XK120C. There we are, all parked up, power bagels deployed already, early doors. Ooh, look at that. Here we have that Hillman Avenger Tiger, bright orange car. Quite often you see these in sort of a yellowy kind of colour. Way fewer of them seem to be this very vivid 1970s orange, but what a cool bit of kit that is. And it has the proper metal Blue Mills plates as well, so we like that kind of thing. Yeah, pretty groovy looking car. So 1970s. Yeah, what a treat to see that one here today. As it's still fairly quiet around here at the moment, nice E38, we will head off into the general direction of the main central area over there, VW Corrado, and we'll probably come out and have a look around here a little bit later. This particular meeting, January, usually ends about 2 o'clock and cars start going from about midday. So I'll try and get out here sort of mid-morning, that kind of thing, and capture the majority of the cars before they start heading off. Equally salty looking BMW there, one of the E39s. And wow, look at this great little Comma over here. How cool is that? It's a very neat looking little truck indeed. And on the end of the row we have a 67 MGB GT debumpered. Pretty cool covers over the headlights. Yeah, that looks very nice. Painted wires as well. Always preferable to chrome, we always think. Yeah, pretty cool. Nice colour as well. Do like that. These were announced late in '65, ready for the 1966 sales season. All sorts of enthusiast cars pouring in. It's a bit of a chilly one today, but as long as it stays mainly dry, we should be set for a great day out. But yeah, that is a very cool looking little car actually. Lots of people are gravitating towards the big hangar here. Sometimes there's an auto jumble in here, but I think today there is a live stage and an exhibition of TWR prepared cars. So I think that's the general direction we'll head in first. Yep, there is a phenomenal collection of TWR prepared cars in here. And of course TWR is still a name very much in existence, run by, I think it's the son of Tom Walkinshaw, who originally founded TWR all those years ago. This, the TWR Supercat, a very much modified Jaguar XJS, and what an incredible looking car that is. Certainly not one for the shy and retiring, but yet there are so many amazing cars here. There's an awful lot of engine going on there. The famous Jaguar V12 unit, originally a 5.3 litre engine, but extended by Jaguar to 6 litre, and no doubt this one somewhat beyond that. 650, 700 brake horsepower, something like that. Yeah, quite the wild looking car, but there's going to be an awful lot to pack in. Got a ZTT here, I think it's one of the V8 powered cars with Mustang running gear. Is this a Monaro Ute, one for the Australian contingent, following the Old Classic Car channel. Looks like we've got a live stage up here, so there will be some interviews with leading lights in the old car world, I imagine. Right, got a Volvo C70 Coupe, but I'm drawn to this the S40 in the livery of Kelvin Burt. This is a touring car. We used to have an S40, Mrs. OCC used to run one, but it didn't look like that. Pretty wild looking car. Of course, TWR ran the Volvo touring cars in the early 1990s. And we'll go and have a look at one of those in a minute, but look at this. Incredible Jaguar. One of the Group C era of Jaguar sports racers, the Le Mans type cars. Pretty wild looking car. I well remember these. Was it 1994? Volvo 850s, and TWR turned up with these, the 850 Estate, and they went touring car racing with these. Such a memorable sight seeing these. I think the year after they switched to the saloons, but I think it's just 1 year they ran these incredible Estates. Just amazing. So the 850 front wheel drive, later revised to become the V70. Pretty wild looking car. Rickard Rydell, back in the days when the touring cars used to be filmed on TV live on BBC on the sports grandstand or whatever. But it was super impressive to see these mighty Volvo Estates racing in about 94. Got a Ford Puma. What a very neat little cars they are, based on the Fiesta running gear. Right, let's carry on over here. We've got a gaggle of Aston Martins and the mighty Jaguar XJ220. In fact, several XJ220s here today. Pretty wild looking car from the 1990s. Originally destined to be V12 powered, but when they actually went into production on sale, they were V6 powered with an engine related to the engine in the MG Metro 6R4 Group B rally car. Don Law, I think, brought all the cars here today. Very much the world experts, I believe, in their maintenance and preparation of the mighty XJ220s, and pretty incredible looking cars. Another one there. And here we have a very special Ford Transit. It looks like any other Ford Transit. It's a Mark III, but this one has the running gear of the XJ220 hidden away inside. I'm not sure if we can actually see in or not. Can we have a quick peer inside and just see? I'm not sure if we can see in here, but we can't really see a great deal in there. But let's have a look at this instead. The Jaguar XJR15, one of the most beautiful race-prepared Jaguars of all time. I think these are just sensational looking cars, way nicer to my eyes than even the XJ220, but these are just stunning cars. Let's keep going along here. TWR badge proudly affixed to the front of it there. Another silk cut liveried XJR here. Pretty wild. It's an incredible display of cars in here. And now we are back to Jaguar road cars. Of course, we're here today in the X308. This is the original XJR that was based on the XJ40 series of XJ saloons. This body kit and the wheels, these were a feature of the XJRs, the original straight six XJRs. I don't think there were too many mods to the engine. It was mainly to handling. It would be the later cars that would have the supercharger bolted to at the X300s. But the XJ40s, it was mainly a cosmetic exercise and slightly tightened up handling, suspension, springs, that kind of thing. But pretty cool to see. They didn't make these in huge numbers, and I do think those wheels look really cool indeed. Yeah, Tom Walkinshaw, a name associated with motor racing for many years. Didn't he run the Arrows F1 team at one time? 6 litre XJRS here. Of course, the XJSs last year celebrated 50 years. There was a big display of Jaguar XJSs here last year. I remember that. And for a 50-year-old car, they still look pretty sharp. The 6 litre XJRS, again with these wheels, body kit, etc. and a great colour as well, very, very similar colour to our old XJ8. Right, what do we have here? Another XJR, different colour, also based on the XJ40, which became revised. They became the X300, and they dropped the V8 engine in and created the X308, which is what we came here today. And next we have a TWR prepared Series 3. Well, that's not something you see too often. This is a Daimler version as well, I think. Again, very distinctive body kit on these. That's pretty wild. Race prepared, Rover SD1, Tudor Webasto Manx Rally livery, computer vision, well remember these, that one from about 1984. Now we are circuit racing, again with the Rover SD1, the famous TWR logo on the front there. Yeah, TWR prepared the Jaguar sports racers for quite a few years. That is pretty wild. Wow. What do you think to that then?
I prefer the other liveries, to be honest, but yeah, there's a lot of choice, isn't there?
There's an awful lot here, isn't there? It's an incredible.
The Bud Light beer one. Seen that one?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, that's the one that runs at the Festival of Speed.
Is it?
I like the Silk Cup.
I've never seen so many of these all together. Win Percy, another name associated with racing Jaguars over the years.
I like the gold wheels. That's one of my favourites.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Look at all these. Jan Lammers, Andy Wallace. We're back to XJS's here, and what a beauty this is. 4 pipes sticking out the back. One of the facelifted cars. Left-hand drive as well. Very nice. Look at the paint finish on that. What a belter.
So is that an XJ220 underneath
the running gear is, yeah.
I guess that's the Bud Light one on your left.
Oh, that one, yes. An incredible assortment of cars here today. These XJS's sound phenomenal. Open exhausts, a V12 engine. In fact, there is a video elsewhere on the channel from many years ago at the Pageant of Power with one of these running up in the paddock area, and wow, what a thing. Certainly wasn't expecting to see one of these here. TWR prepared Mazda RX-7, one of the early Mark 1 RX-7s with the rotary or the Dr. Wankel engine. Pretty wild looking car. Is this one yours, sir?
Yes.
What's the story with this one? What's the history with it that you know of?
The history of it?
Yeah.
So this is Tom Walkinshaw's car.
Yeah.
That won at Spa.
Did it?
Yeah, it was. Actually, it's me dad who actually owns it.
All right.
And our dog. It's me dad, he owns it.
Oh right, cool. So what year would that have been?
1980. I can't fully remember.
Yeah, early to mid 80s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think there's a little placard over there.
Oh right, cool. And is it
Signed by Pierre Diodoni himself.
Oh, was it? Oh, fantastic. Have you had it a long time then in the family, or?
Sorry?
Has it been in the family a long time?
Had it, since TWR went broke. It's got the original 12A engine in it.
Yeah.
Built by a guy called Tim White.
Yeah.
And it's. I don't know if you ever know much about.
Not a great deal. No, I know they can be a bit problematic and oil consumption and things.
Yeah, they can be, but if they're looked after, they're.
Are they all right? Are they?
Impressive, but strange little things.
Very distinctive sound to them when they're being given a bit of.
Sound,
no, that's really incredible. Does it still have any competitive outings, or do you just keep it for?
No, we've been to. It won its class at Goodwood.
Oh right.
In 2015.
Yeah.
Up the hill at Festival of Speed.
Oh, fantastic.
We've raced it a few times.
Yeah. Wow.
We did have a spate of problems with the engines at one point, but
rotor tips and things.
Tips and things like that. But we changed engine builders to White.
Oh right.
There's no issue since.
Really.
Yeah.
It's all about knowing what you're doing, isn't it, with these and 50 years of development and things. And
And, behind it is a Group 2 engine.
Oh, right.
From a
Oh, is it?
Le Mans
Oh, right.
rotary.
Oh, fantastic.
Winning RX, not winning, but rotary RX-7.
Oh, right. You got a bit of info on the screen. Let's have a quick look at that. Let's have a quick shufty at this. All right, 1981 Spa 24 hours winning Mazda RX-7, 12A twin rotor engine, 240 horsepower at 9,000 RPM. While we're on the subject of RX-7s, we've got another one here again, TWR prepared road car this time. I wonder how many people watching this video remember owning one of these. Have you ever owned a rotary engine Mazda? What was it like to keep on the road? Right, and over here we have a pair of TWR liveried Alpina spec BMW 3 Series. Ooh, look at that. Alpina 335i. That's not something that BMW ever offered back in the day. Alpina, of course, a very famous tuning firm. This is the E21 era of BMW 3 Series. The bonnet is up, so let's have a quick look under there. That glorious straight six engine. There it is. Yeah, fuel injected, proper rare car. And alongside it, another Alpina modded E21. Yeah. That is very, very cool indeed. Very rare now too. I almost missed the de rigueur dog in the back of the Volvo estate. It's a bit more classic BM action over here. Got a very early 6 Series Coupe. It could even be a 633. There's more 635s around. Yeah, it's a 633 CSI manual box, Alpina modified. So that is a very rare car. They made way more 635s. This from the late 1970s. So this was pretty much the successor to the older E9 coupes of the early 1970s. These were launched towards the back end of the 1970s. I'm not quite sure what that is, the little electronic gizmo over the way there. Don't know, it could be a remote for the stereo. It might be, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, nice. Pretty cool. And over here we have a 5 Series BMW race car. This, I'm not quite sure which one it is, but it's based on the E12 era of 5 Series, the one before the E28. And again, pretty groovy. Any clues on the back as to what engine? No, but either way, that is a very, very cool looking car. Big set of wheels on it. So what year would this be? About 1980, 81, I would have thought, that kind of point in time. But yeah, a great looking thing. And the last car that we'll look at here in the big hangar is this, a mucho modified Ford Capri 2 in the livery of Hermitite. And this was Tom Walkinshaw's own race car. What a chunky fella that is. There's always a healthy smattering of supercars parked out in the paddock area here too. Bit of everything from Lotus, Honda NSX, a bit more Lotus, Ferrari of the way, McLaren, Lamborghini, Ferrari of course. There's the famous prancing horse, SF, Scuderia Ferrari. Of course Enzo Ferrari only got into producing his own cars following World War II. Pre-World War II, he used to run the Alfa Romeos in Grand Prix racing. Then after the war, he thought, I've got to produce my own cars. Ending up with cars like you see here, very big cars indeed. Right, it's just starting to rain a little bit. We're going to amble in this general direction. We go past the old MT sheds, because of course this was an RAF airfield during the Second World War. One of my grandfathers was actually based here in the late 1930s. He flew in a variety of aircraft as a navigator, the Bristol Blenheim, the de Havilland Mosquito, electric conversions. Home Guard are on duty here today at Bicester. Interesting cars dotted around as always. Got a 900 turbo 16S cabriolet here. Do like those deep dish 3-spoke wheels. Very smart set of Dunlop wheels, centre lock wheels on This Jaguar here, louvered bonnet. The original XK120 launched in 1948. Same year as the post-war Morris Minor. Both very, very popular in classic car circles nowadays. Good looking car. Right, let's carry on down here. A classic TVR wedge here, the 350i with the Rover 3.5 V8 engine under that pointy fiberglass bodywork there. This a convertible, of course, built up in Blackpool many years ago on an E-plate. That puts this on about 87 or 1988. Interesting little nerdy fact, those backlights, if you think you may have seen them before, I believe they are Renault Fuego rear light units, but just turned the other way up. If you check out in Google Images the Renault Fuego, I'm pretty sure that was originally installed on the Fuego Coupe, but to the way up. Right, what do we have over this way? It's always super popular, these meetings here at Bicester Motion, or Bicester Heritage as I remember it being called originally. Lots and lots of enthusiasts on cars, some later, like this Alpina Beamer there. Got a 330 BMW, the E46 two-door coupe. Looks pretty neat. I do love the colour of that. And look at this, an Alfa Romeo Giulia Super. A little twin cam four-door saloon. Just keep out of the way of someone's pictures there. Right. Pretty tasty. Slightly wider set of wheels on this one compared to the regular Giulia. I love the little badge on there. Very neat indeed. But yeah, so this was a contemporary to the 105 series coupes. What a belter that is. If you remember the original Italian Job film with Michael Caine, etc., the Italian police force had a series of these and used them to pursue the three Mini Coopers with little success. But a very cool car. I like the clap hand wipers on these as well. But that is a very neat looking little car indeed. I do love that. I know my youthful assistant, who is somewhere over that way I think at the moment, he is a big fan of these, so no doubt he will be taking a very close look at this stunning little Alfa saloon. Keep going down here past, what's this? Is this a Hummer? Something of that ilk. Another E46 coupe, the 3 Series, but look at this old Audi on the end here. Wow, look at that four-door Audi saloon of the early 1970s. So what's this? Is it an 80 or a 100? I think it's an 80, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. It looks super duper original car. Yep, it is the Audi 80 LS. How original is that? Proper survivor car, that one. That is really very neat indeed. Original interior, by the looks of it as well. Well, Audis at this time were much rarer sights on the road, whereas nowadays they are pretty much everywhere. And these days they were a very unusual sight in the early 1970s, but really cool to see this survivor car. How this one has lasted till 2026, well, that's anyone's guess. I assume it's probably been squirreled away in someone's garage for quite a long period of time. Most of the older cars, you see, it shows that we get to at some point in their lives have been with a hoarder or someone who just couldn't bear to get rid of it. And that's probably the case with this one, but what a rare sight. Super original paint, a bit faded here in places, but that looks just perfect. It'd be such a shame to repaint this one. What a treat to see this. It's not just performance cars here at the Bicester Scramble. Tucked away over here in the corner, a lesser spotted Alfa Romeo 145. This a 1.6 T-Spark or twin spark. Not a car you see it all that often now, but what a very neat, very crisp design, and as the years go by, cars like this look better and better, I think. As cars get more fussy and fat and bloated and unnecessary, crisp, sharp designs like this are just really, really neat to see. VW Golf GTI, one of the Mark IV cars. Same body shape as Dad's car, he's got one of these, he runs it as his winter beater with a V5 engine in it. And we have BMW M5, this one of the E34 generation of 5 Series cars. So this, the M5, replaced the E28 5 Series. By all accounts, these are excellent drives and pretty hefty set of wheels on this one. Very cool looking car, that one. Got a whole gaggle of Porsches over here. So let's keep going in this general direction under the trees and see what else we can spot. There's usually quite a big display on the lawn over there just next to the building in the background, so I think we'll amble in that general direction. We've got an RS6 wagon, Porsche here, one of many Porsches. This one looks pretty purposeful. The Subaru, of course, made famous many years ago in World Rally Championship action. Modern day Renault Alpines. The Dodge Charger RT, what a great colour that is. Circa late 67 or 1968, the registration date on that one. Of course, a lot rarer than they used to be, ever since they did the Dukes of Hazzard TV programme, where many Dodge Chargers got written off during filming. But I'm sure there's still plenty to go around. And next to that, we've got the TVR 350i, the second one of those we've seen here today. Well, Toyota GR Yaris, and we're back to the blue 350i once again. If we just hop over the fence here, we can have a look at a whole assortment of Bentleys. This, the Super Sports, quite a whizzy looking machine. Try and not get in anyone's photographs. Right, okay, there we go. There we go. Let's just have a quick scoot round here. Cruise finest, of course, built not a million miles away from where we are based. And going back earlier in time, as we just negotiate the fence again, we have this Mitsubishi Galant, or no, I tell a lie, Lancer. I made that mistake once before. Rally car in the livery of Rally Art. Pretty cool. There is a celebration. The TWR display was in the main hangar. Out here, I think it's a celebration of 40 years ago, I think it was, when the Group B rally car era came to an end and was replaced by the Group A series. So the end of an era, most definitely. Well, they're saying that the Group A cars were pretty spectacular as well, the Delta Integrales and such like. Pretty groovy little larder here. Is that, so what registration plate is that? Is that Hungarian? Don't know. Not too well up on my flags. Either way, pretty groovy car. It's been at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Many times, in fact. How cool is that? So the little larder, which was started out, these boxy larders started out as a license-built Fiat. That's pretty neat to see that here. And there's the Lancer over the back. Let's have another look at that, because that is not a car you see very often at all. The Lancer EX2000 Turbo. This is a replica of the Works car. Wow. The great, this sort of era of boxy saloons, the proper 3-box saloons. That is neat. And over here we go and have a look at an Opel Manta Coupe. Many years ago I had a ride in an Ermshire modified i400 Opel Manta, and that was a bit of a giggle. I had a body kit very similar to this, and it went like a rocket. That was a road car, and yeah, I've never forgotten that one. Right, let's keep going. See what we can spot over the way here, past a great little larder there. Lots and lots of people milling around. Got a Peugeot 205 T16, so this is one of the Group B rally cars. It's pretty spectacular in the hands of drivers such as Ari Vatanen. It's got a San Remo rally plate, 1986, attached to the back of it. Yeah, pretty wild engine in the back here. And the whole rear clamshell lifts off, that's where it hinges. You've got quick release pins there as well, so you can take the whole thing off in a matter of moments. And then this short wheelbase Audi Quattro, of course. What a wild thing this was. Turbocharged, 5-cylinder engine, very, very distinctive sound, and changed the face of rallying forever in the Group B era. This one from the early 1980s.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And this incredible Citroën over here was from an era when Citroën were toying with the idea of entering Group B themselves, and they built this incredible car based on the left-hand drive Citroën BX. Those wheels look like the ones off the Citroën CX Turbo 2 with the sort of little T set in to the wheels, but I'm not sure if I've ever seen this one before. Pretty wild looking car. Did it ever actually rally in anger though? That's the question. I'm not sure if these were built in time to actually feature in Group B or not. And behind me, the BMW M1. So this has got the 3.5 litre straight six engine, very similar to that fitted to the 635 CSI. But yeah, very, very cool supercar for the late 1970s, beginning of the 1980s. I remember there was a spec series for these, just for these particular cars, and quite a number of ex-F1 drivers raced these back in period. Very tasty Italian Campagnola wheels on it. I remember Niki Lauda was one of the people who raced these back in the day, back in a time when current F1 drivers also competed in other series and one-off races in between their F1 commitments. And behind the Group B 205 T16 we've got this, which I think is a road prepared 205 Turbo 16, circa 1984, four-wheel drive, left-hand drive, and well, what a road car that would make. Looks like the rear body is, I don't know if this lifts off, I know it did on the other one that we looked at a moment ago. Tucked away over here, two examples of the Ford RS 200. So this was Ford's idea of a Group B rally car, but again I think it came just a little bit too late to feature much within that particular series before Group A took over. Yeah, pretty neat. Guessing this one was used in rallycross. Looks like a rallycross spec car. This one, the more traditional rally car. So let's have a look. This one started out as a works rally car driven by Stig Blomqvist on the 1986 Swedish and Portuguese rallies. Of course, Stig Blomqvist, he used to rally the Saab 99 turbos back in the late 1970s. And it's been at Pikes Peak in the US in 1988. 1.8 litre turbo, double overhead cam, fuel injected, 5-speed gearbox, rear wheel drive with selectable 4-wheel drive, 420 brake horsepower. Of course, the body panels produced by Reliant, who were acknowledged as specialists in the production of fiberglass body panels, and no doubt when these were active in rallying it kept Reliant in business, producing replacement panels for them. But really cool to see those two very different examples of the RS 200 here. We'll just amble our way over here past the tree, and we have the Metro 6 R4. Like I was saying before when we were looking at the XJ220, similar engines in these two. This one with Colin McRae and Nicky Grist's name on the front wing. Still dry, the weather at the moment. And this one, we've got two drivers here, Ian Grindrod and Jimmy McRae, so that's Colin McRae's dad. This one in Rothman Racing livery, that is. Always fun to watch these kind of cars out and about. Those Renault 5s are in the news quite a lot at the moment, with the recent launch of the fully electric Renault 5 for the 21st century, but this, one of the original Renault 5 turbos with the engine behind the front seats. There was the Turbo and the Turbo 2. This one's liveried up as the Turbo, so we'll go with that. But yeah, pretty wild cars. Yeah, engine in the back, and just like on our 4CV, the engine air intakes, the coolant intakes, set in to the rear wing. And of course on our 4CV, the engine and that was in the tail as well. Yeah, these are pretty neat, very different car to the GT Turbo that was offered in Renault dealerships as a road car. You can just see how squat and wide the back end of these particular cars are. Yep. Engine tucked away under this panel just in the back here behind the front seats. Bit of a rarity tucked away over here as well, the Nissan 240 RS. Nestled over here, Saab 900 Turbo 16S, a flat front 900 Turbo 16S with 175 brake horsepower, 16 valve engine under that tip forward bonnet. I do like these. Happy memories of owning an 8 valve 900 Turbo many moons ago. That's pretty cool to see a 16S here with a body kit. These are also available without the body kit, but I think they look really cool with the extra skirts down the side and the 3-spoke wheels as well. Pretty groovy. All the 16S's were based on either the 2-door sedan saloon or the 3-door hatch. I don't think they ever did a 5-door 16S, but this one's nice to see with the flat front. The later slopey front cars I'm not so keen on. It's really neat to see this one here today. Yeah, quite a few Beamers around as well, and an E46 wagon next to the Saab. This one takes me back, an S124 Mercedes-Benz E-Class Estate. This one of the facelifted cars with a slightly smaller grille. Yeah, we've had 4 of these going back a few years. Super practical, super handy car, and yeah, real quality thing. Single wiper on these as well. I remember changing the wiper motor because they are prone to sticking. Yeah. A handsome wagon that is. Look at this, Porsche 928. This one on a V registration, so what's that, about 79? A couple of years before that, these won Car of the Year. Telephone dial, alley wheels, big V8 engine in the front. I think the original idea was these were going to replace the 911, but that didn't really happen. Very neat X-Type estate. Right. And this over here is the Hero ERA building, outside of which we've got this, a Ferrari, what's that, 328 I think, which was an evolution of the 308 but with different bumpers and such like. So I think this is a 328, yes, 328 GTS. S for Spider because it has the lift out roof section to give you a bit of wind in the hair motoring. The GTB had the fixed roof. Right, let's have a quick look in here. Certainly busy in here. Got a Fraser Nash BMW, beautiful 315 from 1935. Yours for a whisker under £200,000. I don't think I'll be Part X in the Herald against that anytime soon. Right, let's carry on, see if we can even get in here. Ooh, a Porsche 356 Cabriolet here. Lots and lots of cars, type cars which you see competing in Hero ERA events. Lancia Fulvia. Another 328 GTS. BMW, that's a handsome car, right-hand drive as well. I do like the look of these. Beautiful cars, look at the wheels on that. Yeah, Series 1 E-Type. Lancia Beta Coupe, right. Porsche 911 over the back there. And if we just go over here, I think we can see a Chevrolet, the type of car that legendary Grand Prix driver Juan Fangio cut his teeth on racing in South America many years before he ended up racing in Formula One. Yeah. So that's a Chevy from 1938. Pretty groovy looking car. Wheel on the roof, spare wheel up there. Yeah, big sturdy car. Cutaway wings. Yeah. It's really neat to see that one here today. A Mustang, a Ferrari over there. Lots of long distance rally events. That's pretty neat. Right, let's see what else we've got in here. A beautiful pre-war Lagonda. That is one classy pre-war Lagonda. Now we were looking at that 633, and I mentioned that before that it was the E9 Coupe, and this is an example of BMW's E9 Coupe. I'm not quite sure which one this is, been debumpered. It's probably a 3-litre CSI or CSL. It's the L, so this is the lightweight car. Stunning car that. It's more 911 action, and we have an MGA fixed head coupe. Do like that, complete with the roof vent in the roof, just like the Works Rally cars. We've got a VW Golf GTI Mark 1, and on the end of the row, Triumph TR4 with Surrey roof. Aston Martin Virage here, I think. There's a VW Sirocco backlights. Right, let's keep going. It's really busy in here. Super popular. And the Fiat 500. This pre-war Riley looks like it means business. Oh heck, this one looks like it's prepared for any eventuality. Twin side-mounted spare wheels. That really is quite something. So we've got all this lagging on the exhaust pipe here so that the passenger doesn't get any burns on the arm when clambering out after a busy rally stage. Of course, that's what it did for Sir Henry Birkin, one of the original Bentley boys. He burnt his arm. I think he was racing a Maserati at the time, a single-seat Maserati. He burnt his arm, got blood poisoning, and that was the end of him. Big toolboxes hanging off this side. Yeah. Classic, the Flying Scotsman. Yeah, so clearly this one well regularly campaigned. What a great looking car that is.
We could have had 5.
Super tidy BMW Z3 here. Looks like a Z3M. So that's got the M3 engine under the long swoopy bonnet. Z3's built in the US of A. Is it South Carolina, the factory, I think? And then shipped back to Europe. But these, the M3 powered cars, are very special indeed. 326 or thereabouts brake horsepower. So yeah, do look like a lot of fun. Right, a lovely Series 2 Land Rover here. Very similar looking to the 2A. The only difference I know between the two is the Series 2s have a flattish slope on the front, whereas the Series 2A it's a curved panel. But other than that, I don't really know what the difference is. Certainly probably quite a drafty drive today. I would have thought we passed one of these, a Sea-Reg Land Rover on the M40 a bit earlier, and I'm sure that was an earplugs and thick woolly glove job to drive that here today. And here we have Aston Martin DB6. So of course, basically an evolution of the DB5 that came before. These have the squared off cam tail, unlike the DB5 and the DB4 before that. So they have this little sort of ducktail spoiler built in to the bodywork to update the design over the DB5 that came before. Still very handsome car. DB, of course, David Brown, he of Tractor fame, who took over the company way before that and basically saved the company. Here we've got a mini Sprite edition. Ooh. Bells of Hale, Altrincham. That's not far from our way, our neck of the woods. And look at this, a Gordon Keeble. Wow, that's a good looking car, that is. Nice gaggle of badges on the front as well. So what's this one on the left here? Royal Automobile Club. Not the usual sort you see. The Gordon Keeble Owners Club enamel badge there in the centre. And the RAC Motorsport Members badge as well. Yeah, I do like those.
I look for the long child.
And they're stunning looking cars, those, I think. Corvette engine fitted to them. YNV2. So non-dating registration, probably off a car much older than this is. Right, anything over here? McLaren's Audi TT. Now that's a good looking car. One on an 02 registration, so 24 years old nearly. Porsche 944. Let's keep going, see what other classic machines we can see. Jag SVR. Hopefully we'll see a bit more Jaguar car production before too long. And look at this, an E30 BMW M3. I do like these, all left-hand drive. 4-cylinder engine, the 325i, which was sold about the same time. That actually had the 6, as did the 320i, but the M3, the competition car, these were used in rallying and circuit racing. That's got the 4-pot engine in it. Like I say, all left-hand drive. These very distinctive flares in the back arch. Different rear window as well. Slightly shallower rear window and this sort of stepped up higher boot lid. This was a thing, the line of the boot lid here in the back window, that was an M3 thing. It's different than the regular E30 two-door saloons. Ooh, that's neat. Rightio. Let's keep going. Porsches, of course. Coffee's over there. Wouldn't say no. And this is a Porsche 968, so this was an evolution of the 944 with headlights very similar to those fitted to the 928. My abiding memory of one of these is when my aforementioned Saab Turbo decided to roll off down the car park into the back of one of the director's brand new Porsche 968 CS's. And that cost a few bob to straighten out. Not the Saab, that was fine, but now to have a new back panel. This is sort of like a flexi, not quite sure what it's made out of, but it's like an impact absorbent material, a bit like on the 928. But that had to be replaced. So that was a bit of a shame to lose my no claims without actually being in the car at the time, but such is life. Right, let's keep going up here. See what else we can see. I see a bright yellow Delta Integrale over there. Let's go and have a closer look at that. Oh yes, here's the Delta Integrale in our favourite colour, bright yellow. We like that kind of thing. And like most of the cars on display today, all looking pretty grubby because the roads have been recently gritted, salt everywhere, which isn't great for older cars, but you can always wash them when you get home. Really cool to see this. Of course, these are super popular in the Group E era of rallying, which replaced Group B, like I say, 40 years ago. Pretty incredible cars. These were, you know, World Rally Champions, 87, 88, 89, 1991, 1992. I well remember going watching the rally as it passed through places like Clumber Park back in the early 1990s. We used to go and spectate at Clumber and Chatsworth House, etc, etc. Ooh, another 16 valve Saab. Now this one has got the slopey front, but what makes this one fairly unusual is this is the two-door saloon. It's not the hatchback that you normally see. So this is the saloon version, which is actually quite a rare sight in 16 valve form. As you can see, a notchback saloon, a fixed rear window. Oh. Abbott's Racing on the back. That's a name associated with tuning up Saab turbos, so maybe things are not as standard under the bonnet of this svelte Swede. Let's go around the front and have a little look. But yeah, quite rare to see. This is kind of the spiritual successor in many ways to the 99 Turbo, I always think, the saloon version of the 16S. And what do we have here? Ford Fiesta XR2 Mark 1. Super looking car. One of these were being developed in the 1970s, the first of the Fiestas. It was Project Bobcat. Apparently on the short list of names for what became the Fiesta, apparently Sierra was one of the actual names that were considered and dismissed, and then they ended up with Fiesta. But as we all know, they did end up using the Sierra name just a few years later when the Cortina replacement came along. And now this is a very special Fiesta with certain modifications which escape me at the moment, but there is some information in the window. The Healey Fiesta. Now I have seen this one somewhere, possibly even here before. It's a Donald Healey modified Ford Fiesta Mark 1. Wow, that's pretty cool. Right, and alongside it we have a standard R registration base model Fiesta. This is very much a base model Fiesta, no head restraints, not even a passenger door mirror. Some very jazzy herringbone trim in there. Look at that. Whew. Ford Fiesta L Mark 1, 1976. Wow. 32 months after launch, the 1 millionth Fiesta was built in January of 1979, and this one is out of Ford's own heritage collection. I'm sure that'll be an interesting place to visit. How can I get in there? Yeah, what a treat to see that. Not messed around with, not souped up, no big wheels, just exactly as it came out of the factory. I wonder if this rear wiper was an aftermarket accessory or a dealer fit option. Yeah, proper metal plates, reflective plates with the separate plastic letters. We like that kind of thing. Yeah, really interesting to see these two super duper rare Mark 1 Fiestas parked over here. Oh, look at this beautiful Bentley just parked up over the way. One of my favourite of the post-war Bentley saloons. What an incredible looking car. Is this based on the S3? Just what? That is one handsome saloon. Just lovely. Those rear lights shared with Alvis, perhaps. They look a bit like those fitted to the Alvis TD21s, but what a beautiful shaped car. Period wireless in the middle of the dash there as well. Hope you can see that. What a beauty that is. A shy and retiring Rolls-Royce Phantom here. Aston alongside. Well, what do we have here? Looks very much like a Bentley. Didn't see this one when I walked through here before. Wow, look at that. Proper oily ragger vintage Bentley. That is wonderful. Not too shiny, not over polished. Just as we like them. Yep, very neat indeed. Huge brakes on the front of these. I guess there is a fair bit of weight to pull up with one of these. It's just starting to rain, so let's keep moving, I think. A bit of classic Alfa Romeo, Giulia Sprint GT up for sale. If anyone's looking for one, there we go. Look at that, one of the 105 series coupes. This one prepared with rallying in mind. 1967 registration. This has got what they call a step nose front on it with this sort of creasy bit just there. Pretty Yeah, gorgeous looking little cars. So many different models of car were produced with this basic 105 series shape, including the little juniors, the 1300 and the 1600s, the Julias like this, and of course the GTVs were very, very similar shape, usually with 2 headlights per side. And facing that we've got the Riley Kestrel. Now that's a name that first debuted on Riley's in the pre-war years, but the Kestrel name was then dusted down and used on this, which was the badge engineered Riley version of the ADO 16 design, the Austin and the Morris 1100 and 1300. This one of the later cars, badged up as a 1300, so this has got the 1275 transverse mounted A series engine, very similar to that fitted in some of the Mini Coopers. Transverse mounted radiator over on the side, carburetor close up to the bulkhead over there. Yeah. Very, very similar to the Mini in many respects, just slightly larger. Right, let's carry on round here. Quite a rare car actually, those Riley Kestrels. What else have we got in this neck of the woods? Look at this scale version of the famous Bentley blower. These are produced by, is it the Little Car Company? I think it probably is. Wow. That is quite the creation. Got a little Bugatti over here as well, scale version of the Bugatti Type 35. Beautiful detailing. Look at the proper Andre Hartford friction dampers on the front there. Hydraulic brakes too. Beautiful thing. Proper steering box there, linking over.
He's got the wheel.
Very nice turn metal dash, just like the real thing. And then we've got a Ferrari Testarossa here.
Is this a challenge, is it? You're not your brother.
And over here, another Bugatti. This one finished in British racing green as opposed to the usual light blue. Light blue was the national racing colours for France at the time. White was Germany. Yellow, I think, was Italy. Again, with a turned metal dash, the aluminium dash. What a beautiful thing. And over here, another Ferrari Testarossa, this one in bright red.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, mate, it's me. I lost.
These can be road registered, I believe, hence the creative installation of safety belts. Quite a lot of early 911 action over here. We've got a right-hand drive Carrera over here from the 1980s. Beautiful car in black. A much earlier example on an H plate alongside. I'm assuming it's a 911. Of course, there was the 4-cylinder 912 as well, but I think this is probably a 911. Yep, it's a 911S. Oh, these are the Gordon Murrays, aren't they? That's what they are. The Gordon Murray T50. Gordon Murray, he designed the famous Brabham fan car in the 1970s, which promptly got banned. So yeah, right, let's keep going. This is where, I think this is where the pedal car place, the J40 pedal place, used to be. So what have we got in there? Pretty tasty looking TVR Griffith, I believe, in this showroom.
Yeah, oh, it's a lovely drive. Quite a good example.
Ferrari 512 BB, the Berlinetta Boxer here. Pretty special bit of kit, that one. But I spy vintage Vauxhall just in the showroom over here. Let's see if we can get in here and have a look at that. Lots and lots of tasty cars for sale. Yeah, it's a 3098 from 1924. Beautiful car. The original nickel plating on the radiator and the headlamp surrounds there. Just stunning bit of kit. Real sporting quality car of the vintage era when Vauxhalls really stood for quality motor cars. Right, let's carry on over here. Ferrari M3 over there based on the E46.
Well, that was honestly from that, wasn't it?
308 GTB here, quattro valve version. Always nice to see these old ex-RAF David Brown aircraft tugs here, based on the David Brown tractors. Same David Brown, of course, DB Aston Martin. Again, a nod to the RAF past of the Bicester site that we are at today. One restored, one not so much. Heritage Skills Academy over here. This GT40 is a regular. Yeah, I do like those. Built very much with the idea of taking the fight to Ferrari at Le Mans, and won multiple times in the late 1960s, initially with the 4.7 litre cars, later the 7 litres. Very distinctive colour scheme on this Morris Minor Traveller, Manchester registered one. A few other updates. It's got later seats. What are they out of? Maybe, I don't know, Rover 75 or something like that, but yeah, very distinctive non-factory colour. What is this pre-war gem here? Looks like a Morris 10.4. It's unusual to see them with these full-width sort of ace-type wheel discs on, hiding the spoked wheels behind. You don't see that too often on these Morris 10.4. I think it's a 10.4. Oh, it's a 6. I tell a lie. It is the 6-cylinder car. The 10.6. Slightly longer bonnet on these compared to the 10.4, but otherwise pretty similar to look at. At least that's my excuse. Straight 8 Buick over here. So this is a younger brother to our 1931 Buick back at base. So what year is this? About 48, 49, sometime around then, late 40s, maybe 1950. Yep, the mighty Buick Roadmaster. Side opening bonnet, just like on the E Series Vauxhalls, where you can open them that way, or you can open them that way. Side opening bonnet. Or you could lift the whole thing off if you really wanted to. Yeah, that is a neat car. Like I say, straight 8 engine under the bonnet of that beauty. Very distinctive portholes on Buicks of that era. We've got a Triumph TR8 here. So this has got the Rover 3.5 V8. Although lots of them have been modified. Whether this is still 3.5, I don't know. We get a 4.6 litre one of these turning up at the more local shows that we get to. Got the Renault Clio Sport here, rear engine car, very, very similar in ethos to the Renault 5 Turbo and the Turbo 2. There's the GT40. It's a pretty cool car. 40 because the cars originally stood at 40 inches high. Interesting Austin 7 Special over here. AutoZam Mazda Speed 1994 gull wing doors. Nope, not seen one of those before, have I? Maybe. Right, anyway, let's carry on. Got a little Austin 10.4 here. So this is a Chrome Rad 10.4, built 32 to 1934. The big brother to the Austin 7. Talking of Austin 7s, we've got an Austin 7 chassis here, I think. It looks like a long wheelbase chassis with the extensions over the back, but I could be wrong. It looks like Austin 7 for sale, and there's an engine and gearbox as well. There's the details if you wish to acquire this project. Right, let's carry on down here. A bit more classic Land Rover action, Jaguar XK. Subaru Impreza 5-cylinder car. There's usually a gaggle of Rileys down here. Let's have a look, see if we can see any pre-war Rileys. Ah, there we are. What a beauty that is, AKV 216. Look at this beauty in maroon here. I think this is the Sprite? A famous twin cam Riley engine under the bonnet there, twin SU or Skinner's Union carburetors. Everything quite well packed in there, all properly made, designed so you can fix it. Ignition side of things over there, electric SU pump mounted up on the bulkhead. Super looking car. And here we are inside the workshop. Can't get in, but we can certainly poke our nose through the door. Looks like a rally prepared Golf GTI Mark 1 here. Loads and loads of people milling around. This is much a social occasion as a car event. I think after Christmas and New Year and all that kind of thing, people are more than happy just to get out and about, catch up with contacts, and have a bit of a chat for a few hours about your favourite car, whatever that may be. The forward control Land Rover over here, fully equipped with all the spades and equipment that you could possibly need. In fact, there's a whole gaggle of aged Land Rovers here. I do like this one. It's got a New South Wales plate on the front. So this one's coming from Australia, Series 1. Early 1950s, this one with a tray back sort of body on it. Proper wood. I like that. Bit of a smell of petrol in the air. Oh, cool is that? Very, very original. Slidey door windows. Oh, super original in there. It's really cool to see that. That Land Rover Australia Limited. Got the Brummie badge at the top. Australia below. That's interesting. Right, here we carry on along here. Got a Series 3 now from the early 1970s. This one up for sale. Again, very, very original looking. Bit of surface tin worm on the bulkhead. That's where you always have to look for rot on these, because these outer panels, aluminium, but the chassis, the bulkhead below the windscreen, that's steel, and you have to have a good poke around. Another super original ex-Australia Series 1 here. Bit of music playing, so I'll keep talking over that to avoid any copyright issues here on YouTube. The Series 1 over the way here. Let's just have a quick look around this one. This one looks like it's been restored at some point. New hood on it as well. What a beauty. I only recently realised that this hole in the back of the chassis is for a PTO, the power takeoff, which was an optional thing that you could get on your Land Rover. I saw one just a couple of weeks ago on New Year's Day, and it had the big bit of gubbins stuck out the back here, and the power takeoff for running various implements. But yeah, pretty cool to see. This gaggle of fairly early Land is here today. Another Series 1, this one for sale from 1949, Carmarthen, South Wales. Registration numbers, very original, ready to use, 39,950. Wow. Jaguar XKR is on manoeuvres. Yeah, real gaggle of super original Series 1 Land Rovers. Another one here. This one 1956, model 88. 88 because of the 88-inch wheelbase between there and there. This one's smidge under 20k. Beautifully original looking bodywork on that. And then we have something all together later. I think there's an anniversary for the Audi R8 as well. V8 versions and V10 versions were available for the Audi R8. So there's a bit of a gathering here to celebrate, I think it's 20 years of this particular Audi supercar. Facelifted Disco 2. Had one of those a few years back. Range Rover Classic, so-called now, alongside a two-door car, just like the originals. Very nice MGB here, in light yellow, pale yellow. VW Polo. And something here. What's that? Honda? Let's go and have a look around the back. Not too many clues, but I'm guessing at Honda. There's often some very interesting catering vehicles at events like this as well. In fact, caterers are often encouraged to turn up in slightly period looking vehicles. Look at this, I mean this one dates to the 1990s but looks a bit older than that. An old Peugeot van converted into a coffee truck. That's neat. Right, yeah, let's have a look. Lovely old water tower in the background there. Right, well, there's a whole big queue there, so we'll go this way. What's this incredible little camper here? It's one of those little Japanese K cars by the look of it, special import job. I'm pretty sure these were never sold here in the UK originally. What is it? That is the question. A little Suzuki. 3 Series Beamer, this time a 4-door version of the E30. Talking of E30s, we've got an estate over here, the Tourer. Sittner of Nottingham plate on it. Frank Sittner, of course, famous racer of BMWs in the Touring Car Championship many moons ago. Lots and lots of mods on that one, lowered suspension, etc. Talking of modified cars and lowered suspension, second E38 7 Series of the day on some pretty hefty rims. Dad used to have one of these, a 750iL. This is a 740i, so this has got the 4-litre V8. And a little Spridget over here. First one of those we've seen here today. This one minus bonnet, showing the inline A-Series engine. Also with its engine cover open. Resto modded 911. Right. Let's keep going. No shortage of Porsches here today. 5 Series, the E39. Over here, probably the most exclusive example of badge engineering. We've got this glorious Bentley T1, which is basically a rebadged Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 1. Different radiator surround, a few detail bits of trim differences, but basically a Silver Shadow. This, the T1, so it's got the all chrome bumpers. The T2, which will be based on the Shadow 2, would have sort of chrome and rubber bumpers on them, slightly improved steering and handling as well. But if I was going to get one, it'd be one of these earlier cars. I like the all full chrome bumpers on these particular cars. Oh, very nice. Well, Morris Mini Cooper S on a D reg, so 1966. Great looking little car, that one. I like that. Still in its original 10-inch wheels as well. We'll just amble over in this general direction. Aston Martin V8 here. So this shape of Aston made its debut in the DBS, which was a 6-cylinder powered car, an engine similar to that in the DB6, and they continued with a 6-pot engine until the V8 was ready, and then it went through various evolutions, the V8 Vantage and so on. The Volante open top car, do like those. The Range Rover Classic here, looks like a well used example of the breed, still with a 1989 tax disc in the window. Rightio, let's go. Ooh, XJR, V8 XJR. That's a pretty tasty looking car. Yep, so same shape as our XJ8. This is one of the rare XJR 100s. So that was a limited run that they produced. Great looking car, 370 brake horsepower from the supercharged 4-litre V8 engine under the bonnet. Right, a 944 turbo here, circa 1985. Fiesta XR2i, another Metro 6R4, engine cover raised to reveal the V6 engine in the tail. I guess that must have been quite an exciting car to drive in period. I remember Tony Pond rallying one of those back in the olden days. A little Peugeot 106 here. Is this a 106 Rally? They usually have a sticker on the front of them somewhere, I think, saying Rally. Yeah, the 106 Rally with the novice racing driver sticker on the back there. That's what that denotes. And look at this. Bit of a resto modded Fiat 124 Spider. Quite the set of exhaust pipes sticking out the back there, debumpered. Unusual roof. I don't think I've seen a roof like that before, so I'm guessing there are many mods going on, possibly even the body of a Fiat sat on the running gear of something else. I'm not entirely sure, but that roof is very reminiscent of the old Surrey tops as fitted to some of the TR4s and 5s, etc. Porsche just nudges its way through.
Still working on.
I just love how so many of these old RAF buildings from the Second World War have been repurposed to house businesses related to vintage cars, classic cars, and increasingly modern car technology and development. There's usually some pretty swanky stuff in here for sale. Not sure if we can get in, probably not. But we can have a quick peer over. This glorious Fraser Nash was here last time we came towards the end of 2025. Oh, what a beautiful car that is. A Mini Cooper S, a 66, a Bath just over the way there. So the DB4 just over there. Beautiful car. Can we? There we go. Very bonny little Morris Minor convertible parked over here. So this one, about 1959-60ish. It's one-piece windscreen, but still with the clap hand wipers, which was a thing of the earlier Series 2 that came before. And this is what a trim shop that's based here at Bicester. We've got a Rolls Royce here, the doors open, showing the kind of trim work that is available. Wow, look at that. By gum. Isn't that stunning interior? I hope the camera's picking this up. It's not great in low light. Look at that remote control for the Philco radio set, the wireless. Built-in partition, wind down with the little handle there. Stunning. Stunning interior. Oh, beautiful thing to have a look at. We'll just sneak round here. Let's have a quick look round here. Wow. I do love that radio though.
You're hard to track down.
MGTD just over here, looks very original car. Right hand drive. Austin Healey 3000 Mark II. Yeah. A mighty Packard, the American Packard. What a quality car that was. And what's the little single seater, the little Austin alongside it?
But it's a single cam engine.
Is it? So this is reminiscent of the pre-war twin cams, and if you saw the videos we did of the Pathfinder pedal car, well, this is basically the design of car that the Pathfinder pedal cars are very, very reminiscent of. That's lovely, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. Look alright in the back of Big Dodge, wouldn't it? XK here, another alloy bodied XK 120. Most of them were steel bodied, but the early cars were aluminium bodied, but such was the demand for the XK that it was easier to mass produce steel bodied cars. You can always tell the aluminium bodied cars because they have the separate housing for the side lights on top of the wing. On the steel body cars, this light is integral. This is all part of the front wing, leaded in, but you can't see the join.
Have you been inside Pendine yet?
Oh, yes, I've been in there. Yeah, I've been in there. Great little Riley. So what's this? Yes, that's it's a Kestrel or something of that ilk, isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful pre-war Riley. Isn't that just great? Such stylish cars, these Rileys. The original registration, it looks like too, DLF373, so we like that kind of thing. Very, very much indeed. Big opening sunroof as well. Perfect for a continental tour. Pre-selected gearbox with a selector just on the side of the steering column behind the steering wheel. Beautiful old leather seat. Cool, how inviting does that look? Right, and over here we've got the Kingsbury Racing Shop, where usually all manner of vintage Bentleys are being fettled. So let's amble in this general direction. Ah yes, there we go. Much work going on with this beauty here. Ooh, fascinating building as well. What a great place, what a great way to spend a few hours on a Sunday morning. Giant rev counter in the middle of the dash. That was the most important gauge to help you prevent blowing up your engine. Speed was less of a concern, but what they were really interested in was not over revving the big engine. And you can just catch a sneaky peeky view of the Bentley engine there. All manner of vintage Bentleys being fettled in here. All of them works of art. Nice to see a preserved vintage saloon as well. Most of the cars you see are Le Mans style cars, but every now and again you come across a beautifully preserved saloon, as we can see here. The windows are up, but trust me, it's beautiful. Not sure if you can see in there or not, but it is a delight. And yeah, look at that. Just like that Vauxhall 3098, beautiful nickel plating everywhere you look.
Nicest speed I've ever seen.
Is it?
It's on this side.
Is it? Oh, I'm told it's got the nicest speedometer ever seen. So let's go and have a quick look. Oh yes, the Bentley Speedo. Can we see that? Yeah, that is a belter. What a great thing. It looks like a 3 litre, doesn't it? Yeah. Talking of really early cars, we've got a Tin Lizzie, the good old Ford Model T. This a left-hand drive example, BF9062, so that's a reissued plate, so this one's been imported probably from the US of A at some point in time. And just like the Model Ts, no front brakes on these. Braking to the rear only, just for a bit of added excitement. 4-cylinder side valve engine, the predecessor to the Model A. These were produced for many years. They did undergo a few revisions. Different styles of radiator were produced, but by and large the running gear stayed pretty much the same throughout Model T production. Henry Ford's Model T, the car with which he really introduced the concept of mass production to the car world. Next to that we've got a Crayford Cortina, the convertible version of the Ford Cortina Mark II, a conversion undertaken by Crayford. They converted many cars into open top cars, and alongside it we have a Triumph Vitesse, and this is a 2-litre car. So this is a Mark I 2-litre. The Mark II that came along a little bit later, which had the Rotoflex rear suspension, that had a different grille on the front. So this is a Mark I, but the 2-litre. The first of the Vitesses had the 1600cc version of Triumph's famous 6-cylinder engine. Right, now I've been advised to head off in this general direction, so I'll do as I'm told and go that way. Little Dino 308 GT4. And Mitsubishi Evo over there. Oh, look at this, a slice of 80s wedge, the Alfa Romeo SZ by Zagato. What a bonkers looking car that is. That couldn't really be anything other than a Zagato bodied Alfa. Quite an acquired taste, not for everyone perhaps, but certainly distinctive looking car. Lovely blue Triumph TR6 just parked over here. Not seen too many Triumph TRs here today. And this over here, a Land Rover, this is a Minerva. I think these were built in Belgium, if I remember correctly. But yeah, built under licence. And this very distinctive slopey front, which wasn't something that you saw on the Landys, built in Solihull. Now we don't normally get to go in here. This is also part of the Kingsbury Racing Shop. And what do we see here? A short-nosed D-type with the fin on it.
It's both worlds, isn't it?
Yeah, so... yeah.
Short-nosed front.
Yeah, short-nosed front, and it's got the fin on it, which I thought the fins were on the long-nosed D-types, but I could be wrong. But either way, yeah, it's definitely a short nose, but it's got the fin on it.
It looks correct to me.
Pretty incredible car, isn't it? And the fin for stability on the back, which is slightly off to one angle. It's not perfectly vertical. There is just a bit of an angle on it. How many? 7. Is it 7 degrees? Is it? Ah, right. Another BMW M3 here. Let's keep going. Lots of interesting cars everywhere you look. Whether you're interested in historic cars, modern supercars, race cars, there's something here.
It's a DBR9.
It's a DBR. What? A DBR9.
DBR9.
Oh right. Oh, I see. Right.
Oh, this is the Aston Racing. It's sort of the symbol of.
Another stunning XK120 here. What a belter that is. Again, would appear to be an aluminium bodied car if this is anything to go by. And there's the famous XK straight 6 Jag engine, double overhead cam, one camshaft under there, the other one under there. Cast iron block, alloy cylinder head. Yeah, very nice car indeed. Brooklyn's aero screens. Like I say, introduced in 1948. Of course, quite the stir when this was announced at the Earl's Court Motor Show.
What's that do?
That would have, those are the spindles for the wipers. If it had a full-size screen on it, the wiper arms would be on there.
It's a weird colour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely sort of very dark, slightly purpley blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a modern colour.
Just look at the shape. If we just stand back and just look at the shape, as it sort of curves down there and flows along here. Okie dokie, now next to the Jaguar we've got a couple of classic V-dubs. This one slammed on the floor, presumably on air suspension. So this is a Type 3, the VW 1600. And then next to that, got a pretty groovy pickup here based on the bay window. Let's go around here. Staying dry, that's what we like. We've got the E30 there, Suzuki Vitara, the BMW 8 Series Coupe, either an 840 or an 850. Elvis next.
Yeah, it's chuckable.
And a bit of pre-war vintage action here. Good old Austin 7-box saloon. All 747cc of it. Porsche heads off. And next to the Austin, slightly tired looking Ford Model A. Desperate for a bit of the oily rag treatment, I think. Yeah. Just wants a bit of oily rag just to protect it. I don't think it moves very much, does it? Seems to have been, well, looks a bit abandoned, to be honest, but hopefully someone's interested, because you know it's not getting any better. Yeah, doesn't want to stay like that too long, does it? Tucked away over here, 4-wheel drive, a Bath badged Fiat Panda. That's pretty neat. It's got a snorkel on the side, so if you go wading through deep puddles, you won't ingest too much water. So that's basically the air intake to the engine. Toyota Supra just behind the Fiat Panda, and an E-Type. We've got a 4.2 litre Jaguar E-Type. It's a left-hand drive car, tinted glass. So this Series 1 or 1.5. If it's got the 4.2, that's the original fitment. The first E-Types had the 3.8, and then they went to the 4.2, which was retrospectively often referred to as the Series 1.5, and then the very late 1.5s switched to open headlamps and lost these beautiful covers, the glass covers there. I think the idea was to improve the efficiency of the headlights. I'm sure it made probably quite a big difference. Yeah, left-hand drive, good to see, and a Saab 96 and a very arresting shade of peachy orange, I think we'll call this one. So that's quite a late one with the big rubber safety bumpers. Early cars just had the metal bumpers. These with the Ford of Cologne V4 engine hung out the front wheel drive, just like the 2-stroke Saabs that came along before, and indeed the 99 and the 900 that came along some time after. I wonder what year this one is. There is a number plate under there. Where are we? On an R plate. So what's that, about 77? I can't quite remember. Got a Ford Escort Mark IV 5-door gear. A little Fiat, various other retro cars just dotted around over here, including this Punto SX. Not all as it first seems with this forward control comma. As nestled in the back behind the cab is a very fruity looking engine with big turbocharger fitted. Now back out in the parking area, and this the forward parking area for more interesting, slightly older cars. Cars do start leaving fairly early, especially in this wintertime scramble, where I think the event is meant to wrap up about 2 o'clock, but cars start going late morning, 11-12 o'clock. So my youthful assistant has gone off for a butty, an Ermshire modified Vectra there, but I'm going to plough on and try and capture as many cars as I can while they're still here. We've got a Bentley T2, so we saw a T1 before with the all metal bumpers, and this has got the rubber bumpers with the chrome bits on the top. Very similar looking otherwise. P38 Range Rover there. Quite a few later cars. Ooh, a Toyota Corolla. What a rare old girl that is. Super original looking. Original paint. And these original wheel trims. Really cool to see this. This must be virtually unique, surely. I've got a feeling we may have seen this one here last year, but it's such a rarity. I'm definitely going to have another look because... Did you? Yeah. Had an orange one, eh? Right, yeah, what a throwback to the 1970s, the early 1970s that is. So what's that? K plate's about 1971 or thereabouts. I imagine spares for that, especially body and trim parts, must be pretty much unobtainable. I guess you might find some bits maybe back in Japan or Australia, but they ain't going to be everywhere now. Okay, let's just keep looking out for some of the older cars here. Got a Z3M, very nice too, Mark 1 MX-5, another Saab Turbo, all Saab. Now there's a name I remember from when Dad had his 79-900 Turbo. And that was a Saab specialist based in North Manchester, run by a guy called Andy White. I wonder if he's still in charge. And the Z3 over the back. Oh, what's that red Land Rover? Let's just go and have a look at that. We've got an XJ-SC, so the cabriolet with a sort of partial folding roof, but it retained this rollover structure, a bit like the Triumph Stag. It's not the full convertible version. This is the XJ-SC. Pretty rare sight now. That's got the 3.6 litre straight six. Oh yeah, look at this Series 2 over here. Wow. Marconi Fire Brigade. Right, so this belonged to the Marconi Electronics Company. Many large companies with big factories, they often had their own on-site fire service, and presumably this one served in that role for Marconi. Something flying over. It looks really original. I bet being like an on-site fire vehicle, it's probably got about 3 miles on the clock, or maybe not quite 3, but probably be, I can't quite see, it'll probably be fairly low mileage, I would have thought. Yeah, just a few cars starting to head off now. This one from 1965. I can see a couple of older cars going there. XJS convertible, and in hot pursuit, a Volvo 240 saloon. Super sharp, bright red MX-5 Mark 1 there. Lotus Exige. Very drafty looking Landy. By gum, you need your ear defenders on for that one. And look at this, next to it a Lancia Appia. These are beautiful little cars, V4 engine, very nice. And what's unusual about these is rear hinged back doors and no centre pillar. So if that car was open, the back door goes that way, the front door goes the usual way. There's just a big gap in the middle there. Lovely car. Look at the design, the styling of the door handles. Just beautifully Italian. Everything really nicely thought through. There's the Appia badge. Yeah, lovely simple little cars, but very stylish too. What a treat. Look at that, beautiful inside. Lots of revving going on in the modern supercar paddock, so we'll go in the opposite direction, see what else we can find out here in the main car parking area. I spy Porsche 928. And here we have a Volkswagen Scirocco, and those are the lights that were on the Aston Martin that we saw in the Hero ERA building. Right. Another MX-5, E36 Beamer, Triumph GT6 Mark III. Again, our favourite colour, bright yellow, and this one is even called Mellow, as in the song Mellow Yellow, or something along those lines. Twin pipe exhaust system connected to the 2 litre straight six under the bonnet of this one. Love these. It's a fixed roof based largely on the Triumph Spitfire, but with a 6-pot engine. Great old Volvo wagon there. 635 CSI BMW alongside it. Another Audi 80, one of the 5-pot Audis. I forget what this is. Quite a bonkers looking car. I did see one of these at the Crew Heritage Centre a few years back. Is it a Pontiac or something like that? Is that Pontiac? I can't see. That's the Oldsmobile Silhouette. There you go, you learn something every day. What a mad looking machine that is. Next to the 900 Turbo. Right, okay, let's go this way in the general direction of our car, which is somewhere over the back up there. That's the Audi 80. It's a little E36 4-door saloon, a 316i, so pretty much the entry-level model for the 3 Series range at the time. Z3 wide body. This E38 7 Series is a 735i, so 3.5 litre 6-pot engine in that one. Engine warming up on the Mini. E46 Estate, E46 Cabriolet with hardtop alongside. There's the Jag, Harley's just having a butty. MGF, E-Class Mercedes, a 124, make that 2 124 Mercedes. Bit of fettling going on with the Alpha Spider, got a Golf Mark II there. Cortina Estate, a Mark V Cortina Estate next to the Lotus Elise. Another Porsche 968 Club Sport, the CS, say the evolution of the 944. Pretty hefty set of wheels on the back of that. It's a good looking car, I think. 993 is it? Right. There's a few cars over the way there as well. Mostly fairly late, but there is a nice Amazon Estate just over the way there, so kind of like that, with a 3 Series alongside it. Right, a lot of revving going on. Right, that seems to have stopped. Got a big bumper Golf GTI, the Mark II. Let's keep going down here. Right, ooh, look at this Alpha, a little Giulia, very nice. Second one of those we've seen today. And some pretty whizzy looking wheels on that. I like the look of those. That is really nice. Again with a clap hand wipers, left hand drive, little twin cam engine. Early 1970s, the date of that one. That's a beautiful little car. It really is. Very tasty. So who made these wheels, I wonder? Barani. Whew. There's a name to conjure with when it comes to Italian wheels. Very, very nice indeed. I bet they're not easy things to find now. Beautiful. What a lovely little car. Again, like that Appia, just very clean, crisp lines, fuss-free styling. Yeah, Alfa Romeo Giulia Super. Even the badge, the script badge on Alphas of this era is just a lovely, lovely thing to behold. Monaco sticker on the back there. So wouldn't this be perfect for cruising around the roads of Monaco on a nice sunny day? Wonderful interior as well. Isn't that just great? Next to the Alpha, we've got the Renault Avantime, pretty mad looking car. A Golf GTI Mark 1, a 5-pot Audi on the end here, the Quattro, presumably, I'm sure it's a Quattro. There was also the GT.
Do more miles than mine.
Let's see if it says on the back. It says Quattro in the back window. Yep, so the 4-wheel drive. Nice bit of kit. Right, let's keep going. It's getting a bit chilly. Let's just see what stands out here amongst the cars remaining in the car park. A little 340 Volvo, a little 5-door hatch. This, a Redline limited edition apparently, I don't remember that. There we go, Redline with Redline down the side of it. Quite an interesting little car, originally a DAF design, Volvo bought out DAF and ended up running with this. Sierra Sapphire Cosworth, Lotus XL, Series 3 Land Rover, an immaculate restored Series 3 Land Rover with aftermarket petrol filler cap locking arrangement. Beautiful condition, that. Very smart indeed. Galvanised chassis too. Celica GT4. Another Volvo 240, this an estate. Earlier ones, the estates were badged as 245s, but I think by this point in time they probably standardised with just calling them all 240s regardless of whether it was a saloon or an estate. What else have we got? Fiat Ulysses or something like that. A Jaguar XJ40 looking as grubby as our X308 does today. Nice to see that. A big Lexus there. A very tasty fastback Mustang. GMC pickup on the N2. This one with the 289. So that's about 4.7 litre V8 engine. It's got the quick removing bonnet pins there. Groovy little GMC pickup there. The Cyclone. Right, let's keep going. Yeah, this Fiat People Carrier here and the XJR. V8 XJR, identical to one I had a few years ago, same colour. I like the XJR reg plate. So this is 4 litre, ours is the 3.2 Sport, so somewhat less grunt than this one, but appearance wise pretty much identical. And look at this, super duper original looking Morris Minor 1000, original paint, Trafalgar blue. Doesn't look like it's ever seen polish. It's either original paint or a very, very old repaint, still with moss in the gutters. Wow. Still the original G registration on it. Crying out perhaps for a bit of the old boiled linseed oil just to keep the tin worm at bay, but it's great to see one in unrestored original condition like this. Some old vehicle club sticker in the window there. Yeah, a two-door saloon. We're just back inside the main hangar again, and the side door is now open on this incredible XJ220 powered Ford Transit van. It's a little bit dark and gloomy for the camera, but you get the idea. That's the driver's compartment there. And back here is the XJ220 engine. Pretty cool. There's John Watson, ex-Formula 1 driver and many, many other things.
John, thank you. Great to have you here. This morning, John, we...
A Singer modified 911, one of several Resto Mod 911s that are here today at Bicester.
So deep dish wheels on the back. Oh, a bit low.
Looks like the old flatback Series 1 Land Rover from Australia is heading away now. Lots of cars are disappearing. Alpina down there. Off goes one of the Landies, one of several Land Rovers here sourced from Australia and repatriated in recent times. So there we go, folks. That was our visit to the January 2026 Scramble here at Bicester Motion in the wonderful surroundings of this former World War II RAF airfield. So thank you so much for watching this particular video. Please have a look around before you disappear entirely. If you haven't subscribed yet, well, please think about doing so, because that helps the channel continue. Comments always welcomed, likes even more welcomed, and yep, many more videos along very soon. So bye for now. Magnificent Bedford over here, based on a Mark III CA.